This YCN segment is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist.
Welcome back, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, final segment here from Ramontos in Claremont, and they have brought us the wonderful desserts. Got a chocolate peanut butter cake and a carrot cake. So whatever you're in the mood for, they've got it. They have all kinds of desserts to go along with sandwiches, fries, onion rings.
Spoiled.
Yeah, this is pretty good. I mean, maybe we can do this every week, but right now it's just once a month we're here. You can come here every week though, because they have takeout. You can eat in pizzas, pastas.
Come here every night.
Yeah, seriously, I might do that. And they got a great bar here in Claremont. You can watch the games, a couple TVs. So it's a great place here at Ramontos in Claremont, and they're happy to host us here once a month, so we appreciate that. Moving to the Patriots. It's the off season right now, but it seems like there's more talk than even during the season of who's playing what, how long people are playing. Andrew, I will ask you this first. Are you concerned of Gronk, Brady, Belichick, anything? Is this Patriots quote-unquote dynasty coming to a close?
Well, I think during the season everybody talked about Tom and Belichick, but then after the Super Bowl it was Gronk all of a sudden. I think I'm most concerned about Gronk. I think with all the rumbling, I thought maybe a month ago I thought he was going to retire, right? I thought he was done, but I think he'll come back for at least one more year. I think that's probably what's likely going to happen. I think Tom and Bill will convince him. But in terms of Tom, I don't think this is Tom's last season. I think he has at least 2 more years left.
I agree.
And we were just saying before, I think Belichick, he has even longer than that. But Gronk, I think that's the biggest question.
Right, so Gronk's the whole linchpin here.
Yeah.
If he wants to play and he needs to be committed, and Belichick, people have said around Belichick that he wants Gronk to be committed, but if he's not committed, he'll get rid of him. Do you think they could possibly trade him? There's been talk, maybe he gets traded. Is that something that could really happen?
I mean, I don't think you can rule anything out with Belichick. I think he's shown, even people have thought, no, he's been loyal to that player, but then he's traded him right a minute later. So I think anything's on the table. I just think with Gronk, with the connection he has with Brady, I think Tom would not be happy if Gronk was gone. I think if Gronk said 1 more year and then I'm done, and Bill said, well, you're not playing for us, I think that would really, create a huge ripple in the team. I think if Gronk comes back for 1 more season and he plays as well as he did last year, that's going to be obviously a huge boost for this team. I think that's probably the way to maximize the value.
Right, but then that's the whole problem, because then it goes back to it as like Belichick's looking at the long term. He doesn't care if Gronk and Brady wants his best weapon, like you said, and then Kraft has to get involved, and he's obviously the owner. He makes the final decisions. Yeah. So I do think, as much as we'd hate this to happen, I think, we're seeing the end. I'm not saying we need to panic, but we're not going to be as spoiled as we've been for the last 15 years.
It's not going to be as easy as it has been in the past. This last season, what did they win? 13 games during the year, but it didn't seem quite like a normal Patriots season. They really had to fight for those wins, and I think it's going to continue on just like that. They're still going to be really good, but they're going to have to fight.
Right, lots to talk about in the offseason. The draft's coming up, lots going on, so we'll get to that in future shows.
It's time for the Salt Hill Pub Picks of the Week. Salt Hill Pub, honest food, perfect pints, live music, now here to serve you in 5 locations.
Now it's time for the picks. This week we do not have the touchscreen, obviously. I don't think we can be doing anything back there. So let's get right into it. And we got Celtics and Raptors. We talked about that game Wednesday night. That's a big game, a rematch from the Celtics game that they won. Who we got here? Celtics, Raptors. Can the Celtics keep it going, keep the pressure on the Raptors?
I mean, I think without Kyrie, that is a huge loss for the Celtics. But we saw them beat the Raptors without Kyrie not too long ago. I think the Celtics are going to win this one. I think they figured out how to beat Toronto. They're young guys. They're going to step up, and the veterans that they have, they're all going to come together and play really well. I'm going with Boston.
I'm going to go with the Celtics also. The Raptors, they look like maybe a little bit shaky, losing to the Cavs last week, losing to the Celtics. Maybe they're not used to being, it's different. Sometimes you're being better out front. Sometimes you're better chasing guys. And the Raptors in that number 1 spot, not sure how they'll fare. I think the Celtics win that one. Going on to the Wizards and the Cavs. Cavs obviously locked in probably to that number 3 spot.
Yep.
But the Wizards are a good team now with John Wall back.
Yeah, John Wall is a very good player. I just think it's basically playoff time. I think LeBron James is going to lock in. He's been playing really well lately. I'm going with Cavaliers.
I agree with you. Cavaliers, they look like they're, I don't want to say dominant self. I do think that the Cavs will be able to come on strong here. And like I said, once it gets down to the playoffs, end of the season, give the ball to LeBron, and he wins this. I take the Cavs as well. Moving on to the Timberwolves and the Nuggets going out west, Nuggets team and Timberwolves playoff type matchup. Who you got in that one?
Yeah, I just think Karl Anthony Towns, he's such a big player. He can score, he can rebound. He's going to take control of that game. I'm going with the Timberwolves.
I'm going to go with the Nuggets. I think they're obviously at home. I think being at home, altitude, it might be a little tough for the Timberwolves. I'm going to go with the Nuggets. Moving on back to the East, Cavs and 76ers. 76ers, they've had a good run as of late. Cavs, do they get it done there?
I think the Cavs do get it done. The 76ers have really been plagued with injuries. They have the young guys, but Joel Embiid is now injured when Markelle Fultz just came back. But, I'm going with the Cavaliers.
I think the Cavaliers win that one as well. You're right. There's just too many injuries on the 76ers squad. They're right there in the number 4 or 5 spot. The good positioning. But this game, Cavs win it. And finally, Pacers and Raptors. This might be a game that's meaningless by the time we get to this point. But who you got?
I'm going with the Raptors. I think they are a really good team. I just don't think they quite stack up to the Celtics or Cavaliers, even though right now they have a better record. But I'm going with the Raptors over the Pacers.
Yeah, Raptors at home. I think they right the ship. They end the season. They get the win. And they might wrap up the number 1 seed. But I take the Raptors. Those are our picks. Thanks for joining us. We were here at Ramonto's in Claremont. Thanks to the staff at Ramonto's for bringing us all this food. Don't forget to check them out for anything you need here in Claremont, New Hampshire. Thanks for watching YCN Sports Talk.